What is up, world? You are in tune to the Know It All podcast, and man, what a game! You're here with the usual suspects, of course, myself and Tate. Man, Tate, how you doing, bruh?
What's up, Mod? I'm doing good, man. Just a little tired, man. Been kind of sluggish all day, but had to hang in there and watch the Super Bowl, and then then get on here so we can chop it up real quick about it.
Man, great game, and we got Big G, of course. Big G, how you doing, man?
Man, it was rough, rugged, and raw this weekend. Had a rough ride, man, but it's cold in Ohio too, man. It's real cold. So, I'm just trying to press through, but it was pretty good Super Bowl. Hot halftime show warm me up real good,
We're
man.
gonna talk about that, man. We're gonna definitely talk about that. But if you like the content that you are hearing and witnessing with us, make sure you like and subscribe. Like on Facebook. You can definitely mash that subscribe button on YouTube and Twitch, and you'll get notifications every time that we go live. But before we jump into the show, we definitely got to jump into this. And you are here with your boys, your player partners, man. Definitely the Know It All gang, Know It All truth. Man, look, one of the first things that I want to jump into is Twitter, man. Twitter is definitely riding high and very upset about this game. And certain people are even putting out already chopped up film where they've documented that they believe that the NFL has scripted this for them, the Rams, to win in LA. Listen, it was a good game, man. I don't see it any way, shape, form, or fashion it was scripted. Big G made a point. He said that he felt like that Cincinnati lost the game more than the Rams won it. I feel like it was a game, man. And definitely there were a couple of bad calls that went both ways. But, I mean, there were calls that could have been called that weren't called. So we're going to definitely get into that, man. What do y'all think about this conspiracy theory that is going around Twitter? It's the number one trending subject on Twitter right now. Tate, what you think about that?
It's just Twittering, man. That's all it is, man. People go there with their grievances, whether valid or not. They just go there with their grievances and say what they're gonna say. I mean, it was a good football game. I mean, I'm probably, it's knee-jerk reaction right now, but I'm probably booking it top 5 Super Bowls I've seen all the time. And I think my first Super Bowl was like Super Bowl 10, maybe. Yeah, so I've been watching Super Bowl for like 46 years, man.
A long time. And definitely, G, what you think about, Twitter?
Super Bowl 13, maybe. I won Super Bowl 10. Super Bowl 10 was Pittsburgh against Dallas when used to be the record for most sacked quarterback, Roger Staubach. Joe Burrow broke that tonight, getting sacked his butt off.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that one too. Aaron Donald is phenomenal. Aaron Donald actually could have won the MVP. Cooper Kupp was just whoop. But Aaron Donald could have made a case for that. But Big G, what do you think about Twitter's going off about the NFL being rigged? Talk to me about that.
It's just fans with knee-jerk reactions and gut reactions. There was a lot of people, really, believe it or not, that was cheering for the Cincinnati Bengals to pull that game out, man. So not just for Ohio fans, but there was a lot of people. But really what that goes to show is how many bandwagon fans there actually are for the Bengals. We was talking about this on a prior show. How many people was like, not really true Bengals fans, but there was a lot of money that was on the line too, man. So games close and all whatever else, people gonna be in their feelings when they lose and stuff like that, man.
The Bengals covered the spread, and I don't think it was a whole bunch of bandwagon. I think what happens when you get down to a championship game. If you don't have a team in the game, then you pick somebody to root for. Most people root for the underdog. So that would have been the Bengals. So all those people you saying bandwagon people, I think it's just people that just was going for the underdog, man.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I ain't have no skin in the game, but I still wanted the Rams to win it. Definitely. A couple of things that we want to talk about, and this is one of the reasons why they're kind of moving to it. I mean, there were some bad calls late. There was some no calls early and some bad calls late. There was a no call on Cincinnati when Aaron Donald had pushed Joe Burrow out of bounds. He was definitely just assisting him out of bounds, a normal football play. And one of Cincy's guys came over and punched him in the helmet. That was definitely a flag. Referees right there sitting on it, no call. Great no call. Super Bowl, let him play. Just like Big G said. Super Bowl, let him play. Definitely great no call. That was one there. Then the pass interference, offensive pass interference call first play of after halftime, that was OPI. Definitely OPI. Tate said off the camera that the referee couldn't see it because he was behind the play, but it's still OPI. And if he challenges it, you can't challenge OPI, right?
I think
you can't challenge it, right? It's an unchallengeable play.
Definitely no challenge, but it was a bad call. It was a miss. It was a blown call. And then Big G was arguing about one of the holding calls on Cooper Kupp, and definitely saying it shouldn't have came down to that. I understand it. I mean, you never want a game to be decided by whistles, but I mean, the rules are the rules, and there was a clear holes. There was definitely clear holes.
That play he was talking about, the third down when they was going down there in the final 2 minutes, under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And the dude, and I thought it real time, dude made a heck of a play. It was, oh man, that's clean. But then when they showed slow motion before that's why they called a hold, not pass interference, because he did grab him. And he did impede his way to the ball. I mean, so it was a good call. I mean, I was rooting for the Bengals. I didn't want to see it called, but it was a good call.
Right. The only issue I always have with that is, and Ma, you hit it on the head already. I don't want the whistles deciding the game. I want it to be played and left on the field. And a lot of times, unless it's just flat out egregious, just let them play, man. So that was the issues that I had with it. It's just that. Don't wait to the end, because I think up until like the late in the fourth quarter, that might have been the record for the least amount of penalties in a Super Bowl. There was hardly no penalties at all in that game. Maybe 3 or 4 flags the whole game until late in the fourth quarter, and now all these flags start flying all over the place. That's where a lot of people feel that too, man, because they're like, oh, it's fixed. They was cheating because the whole game they let them play until they got to late in the fourth quarter, and now you see flags flying everywhere. So. That I understand it. I understand. Like I said, I ain't got no skin in the game either. But I always like to see a game decided by the guys that play versus the referees that make the calls. That's just me. That's my own personal thing.
Understood. Tate, you had something?
No, man. I think they did let the play be decided on the field. I mean, I don't have a problem with either one of the calls against Cooper Kupp because they were holding. I mean, and the Rams going down trying to go for a winning touchdown. What are they supposed to do? Not call it because we ain't been calling nothing all game? I mean, the call I had a problem with in the NFL, I understand it, but they need to try and do something, was the call against Von Bell, which was offsetting penalties. The Rams were holding, and he tried to hit Cooper Kupp to make the ball come out when he caught what appeared to be the first touchdown. But it would have been brought back and 10 yards back for the Rams holding, but they called unnecessary roughness, man. Come on, it's football, man. Now, especially in a situation like that, you got to try and block the ball.
That was a hit against the defensive receiver. He definitely didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that at all.
That's why it's kind of like, it's subjective right there. You seen it one way, I seen it another way.
Yeah, it was definitely to me it was up high and he launched. That's the rule. If you up high and you launch, you're gonna get that call. You're gonna get that all the time. You're not supposed to launch and leave your feet, and you're not supposed to hit him up high.
Hey, Eddie Copeland said on Facebook, he said it's not scripted, but what is in question if the refs at the end of letting the flags go when they basically let both teams play the whole game. What's ridiculous is the no call on the face mask with Ramsey. So he argues both sides as well, you know. So the same
but
stuff
like
we
I
said.
said, if you watch the replay, the play with Ramsey and Higgins, the referee was right there, but he was right behind him. So he see, he saw him kind of just hand fighting for the ball. He didn't see him pull the face mask because he was behind it. He didn't see it.
Right, correct.
It's calls all the times that get missed. I mean,
right.
But
football,
Tate,
like you said, Tate,
I've seen the referees throw the flag and go look at the replay and convene and then say, hey, no flag, pick it up. What's wrong with doing that? You know what I'm saying? I think if you're gonna err on the side, which they did at the end of the game,
he didn't see it, man. That's why he didn't throw the flag. You can't just throw flags just to throw flags, and we gonna go look at it.
Right.
I understood.
And it's a non-reviewable play. You know, that's just the truth of the matter. That's a bang bang play. The rest behind it, you can't review it. Instant replay can't go back and do nothing about it. So you got to let them play. That's a bang bang call. You know.
Understood, Tate. But if now you think honestly, if they would have won, Cincinnati would have won, that play wouldn't come under fire. You know, it's still under fire right now. You know what I'm saying?
They would have talked about it. Stuff happens, man. But that you can't throw a flag and say I'm throwing it just in case.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. So, man, Cooper Kupp was phenomenal. I mean, with Odell getting injured on and hurting his knee, and shout out to Odell, man. We glad he got him one. You know, a lot of people said that he wasn't gonna do it, but he got it. You know, with a great team.
Did y'all see him crying after the game?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I did.
Saw him crying on half when they screenshot him in the third quarter. He was standing on the sidelines.
Yeah, he's standing on the sideline crying. He wanted to go.
But no, at the end of the game, he was balling. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He was balling, like, you know, he was balling for real, like little kid crying.
Right. I think he missed Jarvis. Nah, big ups to Odell. Hey, Ma, I want to give you big ups too, because you call Odell with 1 touchdown, Cooper Kupp with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he did.
You call Aaron Donald with 3 sacks. He had 2.
Yeah.
And you call Aaron Donald MVP, but Cooper Kupp got it. So, but Joe, I think you thought the Rams was gonna blow him out though. But
he actually had 3 sacks.
The only place you went wrong. What's that?
He had 3 sacks. The one where he pushed him out of bounds.
No, that was in
front of the line of scrimmage. Yeah, that was.
That wasn't sack, but he only had 2. That's what I'm saying.
Man,
I was watching the post game.
He had one before that end of the game sack, right?
That wasn't a sack. Joe Burrow threw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So they didn't call that one a sack. All right. Yeah. I mean, thanks, and I appreciate it. But you know, I thought the game was going to be a lot more lopsided than it was. But Odell getting hurt kind of affected that. I think if Odell doesn't get hurt, the game gets out of hand at some point. You know. But you know, hey, shout out to Joe Burrow, man. Joe Burrow's a man, and Jamar Chase is a man. Listen, I have to ask this question. If we redrafted, and I think we're gonna do a show on that. Let's do a show on that, you guys. Redraft this last year's draft and look at what these guys have done. Nobody could have predicted Jamar Chase doing what he did this year. Nobody.
Correct.
Nobody could have predicted Michael Parsons being the beast that he is. Right.
Correct.
And there's players, and I want to talk about Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is freaking unguardable. I mean, he is unguardable. The hands on this guy. Did you see the one-handed grab that he made when he beat the best cornerback arguably in the league in Ramsey? Beat him.
He beat Jalen several times.
There
was several times. It wasn't just like once or twice. He beat Jalen a whole bunch of times. So Jamar Chase is the truth.
The truth. And the funny thing about that is when he beat him, you know, Jamar, hey, all he could do was sit to Jalen Ramsey, just shake his head like, hey, man, I the best I could do. And, I mean, what do you do against that? When somebody's just in a zone and they're unbeatable, they're just you can't do anything, man. So
the one catch he got the first down on, Joe Burrow threw it behind him on a little flare out in the backfield. He had to reach back and catch with one hand.
Right.
I mean, that was a great catch. I mean, it was only like a 4-yard gain, but that was a great catch.
Yeah.
And this guy,
and quietly, the Cincinnati Bengals might have the best receiving core in the NFL. Quietly, Boyd, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, with the tight end number 87. That it's going to be hard to beat that. To beat that four, that's hard to beat. Quietly.
I'm gonna tell you guys though, where they're gonna have to go. They're gonna have to go get some offensive line help.
Oh, there's no ifs, ands, but listen though, and this is something me and Tate talked about off camera, and I ride with Tate on this, and I say the same thing. The deal was why I said the Bengals beat themselves. How in the world does Joe Mixon not get the ball in the first quarter and the fourth quarter on 3rd and 1? Joe Mixon had 80 yards rushing. Give him the freaking ball. How the Bengals let the Rams back into the game is they refused to run Joe Mixon when they should have been running him the whole time, i.e. why they ended up sacking Burrow 7 times in the second half. You got Joe Mixon should have ended up probably close to being the MVP. Joe Mixon should have had about 100-something yards rushing. He threw for a touchdown, and he might have got a rusher. Joe, you don't go away from Joe Mixon and bring in Samaje Perine. I mean, come on, man. You on 3rd and 1 and the money's on the line, you got to run Joe Mixon, man. Got to run it.
Well, I mean,
so that's on the Bengals coaching staff.
I think it's easy for us to say that, Big G. I think it's easy for us to run out there and say, hey, man, it's easy for us to be a armchair quarterback or armchair coordinator and say, hey, this is what I would have did. And then in the process of the game, they have a system that they set up, and he's their 3rd down back. And, I mean, I agree with you and Tate. Roll the dice. We in the Super Bowl. Roll the dice. Stick with the woman who you brought to the prom. It's just my thing.
90% of the time, he's a 3rd down back because they passed on 3rd down.
Correct.
But the minute you bring him in and you try and run him, you trying to be cute, Zach Taylor, Cincinnati head coach. You trying to fool somebody with some trickery. You know what I mean? And the thing is, man, we talking about the Super Bowl, man. Like you said, money on the table. I mean, you got to go to Joe Mixon there. I mean, because if it's 2 down territory anyway, 3rd down, at least let Mixon get the rock and then go for it on 4th down.
Correct. And he had 15 carries on 72 yards, which is almost 5 a pop. And they wasn't like cute plays, like where he just like had a broke run or something. He was running straight at them boys and picking up yards. So you got to let him run the ball. But once again, just like I had issues at the, like you say, armchair quarterback, there's no freaking way on the last play of the game I don't man press cover Cooper Kupp and put a safety 3 yards behind the corner. He's not getting the ball. I don't care what you do. I don't care how you try to force it to him. Cooper Kupp's not getting the ball. I will tackle him before he gets the ball. He's not getting the ball.
Big players make big plays and big games, man. And that's what
dumb coaches make dumb calls and big games too. And so and I've been harping on that all year. Like I said, I don't get paid a nickel from the NFL. But there's a lot of people that think the same way I'm like. And like we're on the sideline, we're watching it on TV, we're not calling it. But a lot of times, man, like how Tate just said, coaches try to be cute in the end to make it seem like they are the ones that's doing it. They don't play it down. Who plays it down is those guys on the field.
Pete Carroll lost a Super Bowl like that.
Lost
Correct.
one.
You got Marshawn Lynch, just give him the freaking ball and win it. Tate, I was in D.C. with you. I was in Maryland with you, and we saw the game. What's going on about it?
Right? You were.
Hey, listen, you just do it. And speaking of beasts, Aaron Donald, is there anyone better? Is there anyone better from a D tackle position? Just, I mean,
in the league right now, no.
Ever?
Warren Sapp.
Warren Sapp ain't better than Aaron Donald.
Warren Sapp.
Wow. I mean, listen,
I can't give you that. Warren Sapp was a beast, but Aaron Donald is 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, and other two or three other times he finished like second and third place. I mean, Warren Sapp ain't putting up that kind of production.
I'm gonna tell you something. I've never seen Reggie White is the only one that I've seen manhandle men at the line like that. Like just manhandle grown behind men, put them on skates. That's just unusual, man.
Reggie White probably is better.
Yeah, but Reggie played DN. Reggie played DN most of his career. He didn't play D. He played some D tackle. He's played some D tackle.
You're right. He did play mostly DN.
But like I said, but from a defensive line standpoint, I've never seen anybody put anybody on skates like he does. And he puts them, I mean, throwing people back into the quarterback. He threw on his first sack, he put his man back into Joe Burrow and sacked him and tackled him. It was just crazy. I mean, that type of strength with that type of speed is just ridiculous.
That's all them years, times, effort, and energy when ain't nobody paying attention. And that should be a lesson to all these youngsters trying to get to the pros. You know, the Aaron Donalds didn't just win on talent. Aaron Donald won that game or did some great plays in that game by spending astronomical time in that weight room, man. If you've ever seen the physique of that guy, he's huge.
In the weight room, in
the weight room, man.
He ain't even all that huge for a D tackle, man. What he about 275? He just cut up, man.
Yeah,
he's strong.
Aaron Donald's one of the strongest defensive tackles.
Oh yeah, he's strong. I'm saying I just said he ain't that huge, but he practices his technique a lot too. Like he practices hand placement. He uses knives to like practice his hand placement and stuff. He does a lot of unconventional stuff that helps to get him to where he's at.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, this guy's phenomenal. This guy's phenomenal.
And he said he might be done too. He's talking about it's a wrap. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, he said it more than once. They brought it up more than once during the game. He said after he win the bowl, he ain't got nothing to prove. He said, I already done proved to y'all that I'm the GOAT. So what else I got to do? All I need is that ring.
Michelle Tafoya asked him about it in the post-game interview, and he said, I'm just living in the moment right now. I'm not going to make that decision. I'm going to go out here and play in the confetti with my kids, and we'll talk about that later. So, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's talking about giving it up.
And he ain't even been playing that long. How long has he been in the league?
I think
he's 30 years old. Yeah, he's 30 years old. Yeah, 9 years. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Been to two Super Bowls and clearly could have won the MVP of one of them. I mean, clearly could have. I mean, like I said, there's not a defensive tackle in the game right now. There's a couple of DNs that give Aaron Donald a run for the money as far as overall defensive linemen. But DT, there ain't nobody in the game to get close to.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's nasty. Speaking of awesome, man, halftime show. Best halftime show ever, you guys. Best halftime show ever. What you guys take on that, Tate? What do you think?
Oh, I mean, I loved it, but I mean, again, it's subjective to what you think. I mean, we hip hop people, you know what I mean? There's probably a whole bunch of people watching Super Bowl in Wyoming that didn't care much for the halftime show. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, I personally loved it though. I mean, but that's what happened when a year or two ago they put Jay-Z in charge of the NFL entertainment and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I mean, but it was a great show. I mean, man, Dre and Snoop and 50 Cent was a surprise.
That was a surprise.
Then you had Kendrick and Eminem and Mary J.
Yeah.
Mary J.
And Anderson .Paak beating them drums up too, man.
Oh yeah,
I was like, whoa, wow. You had Anderson .Paak beating up the drums with M, man. So yeah, to me it was, I'm a Prince fan. My wife's a Prince fan. You know, I've been liking Prince forever. And when it rained during that Super Bowl and Purple Rain and all that stuff went down, I was like, you can't top that. This is up there. Prince
is up there. Prince is up there for real too. That one, Prince was up there for real. And I think that one being a great halftime show, like wow. And 50 being upside down from the video, that was crazy too. That was crazy. Yeah. I like it. Kendrick whole thing coming in. People were saying on Twitter, of course, that Kendrick didn't match in that halftime show. But I beg to differ. I mean, these were all Dre's artists. You know, these were all Dre's songs. And this was Dre putting it on, right? You know, Live Nation, of course, had Dre there, and he put together a heck of a show. And I think Kendrick finally coming out the house because, you know, he's the only one that don't do shows. Kendrick came out the house for this, you know. That was super dope. I like that whole setup. And then, of course, Eminem doing Lose Yourself. Now, let me ask y'all something. Is Lose Yourself Eminem's best song?
No, it's not. But it's the one that's the most popular.
It's most recognizable.
Yeah, it's most recognizable. Just like this. I mean, I know we talked about, I'm sidebarring a little bit, but just like Prince, right? Prince's most popular song is Kiss. But that ain't his best song. We all know that ain't his best song. But the one that sold the most albums, so Lose Yourself might be the #1 selling album for Eminem. Who knows? I'm not for 100% sure, but like how Tate said, it's the most recognizable. So I would definitely say that, hey, they all Dre stuff. The only thing they should have done at halftime, that what they left out, they should have left off with G-Thing. When they rolled out, they should have finished it off with G-Thing. Because they'd have done G-Thing, that crowd would have erupted. That's got to be like Dre and Snoop's biggest song, man. Ain't nothing but a G-Thing, baby. Too doped out, going crazy. Oh, come on, man. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why they couldn't do it for the people in Wyoming. They
changed the lyrics,
for the people in Wyoming who was already, out there, listening, or Utah that was already out there listening to What Is This on halftime. They probably couldn't do that one. Nothing but a G thing, or there's some other things, gin and juice. They literally couldn't do those.
I'll say Lose Yourself, Not Afraid, and probably No Love.
Yeah,
would be Eminem's top 3 to me. I mean, you got a lot of good ones in there. The Slim Shady, first album.
Yeah, I think Slim Shady probably his most popular song. And then, Stan might be right up there in popularity. But when I think about, I think Tate put this eloquently. When I think about Eminem,
whatever you guys say, I always put it eloquently.
Well, he put this very eloquently. When I think about Eminem, I always think about Lose Yourself. Lose Yourself is the song that I think about. It's his most recognizable song. Oh, that's Eminem. You know what I mean? And I think it helps because the movie kind of helped to push the song, right? The movie was big and it helped kind of push the song.
8 Mile. 8 Mile.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, it's a song too that's like that's supposed to encourage the fighter spirit in you. You know what I mean? Lose yourself, whatever you're trying to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it was off the hook. Like I said, I just wish they had finished on G-Thing, and I would have loved to see if they couldn't have got 50 to bring Ice Cube out there, man. I would have loved to see him because he's just much West Coast as Dre. To me, I mean that's just my own thinking. Ice Cube.
It wouldn't have been 50. That would have been Dre.
O'Shea Jackson.
Yeah. But he wasn't with Dre after he left NWA. Dre brought out Snoop. Dre brought out 50. Dre brought out Eminem. Kendrick and Mary J was there because he's done a lot of work with her. I mean,
Mary J was there because that's the song she did.
That's the impact he had with Anderson .Paak also. Dre's got a lot of stuff he did.
Well, I mean, that's the West Coast. It's West Coast. You can't do nothing without out of Anderson .Paak. I mean, Anderson .Paak's the West Coast right now. And who's better on the drums? Who you gonna get on the drums that's gonna work the drums like that?
Nobody.
Somebody posted on Facebook, man, a poll. Is Mary J a better singer, actress, or dancer? And rank the 3: singer, actress, dancer.
Dancing is last, but dancing is last for sure. And I think singer is first, and then actor is second, but dancing is definitely last.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they
go Mary.
Mary been doing the same dance. Mary been doing the same dance for about 35 years.
30 years.
Yeah, that's what somebody said too. 30 years though, but 30 years for sure.
Yeah. Well, she practiced for 5, but didn't nobody know who she was. She was in the mirror perfecting that dance. So by the time she got hot and everybody knew who she was,
even before Mary was married, you didn't even know her. She was out there. She was doing backup for Father MC,
Yeah.
If you watch some of the old videos, she on the stage doing that same dance.
Yeah, about 35
Same
years, she been putting it in and putting in work, man.
Putting
Hey,
it in.
I got a question though.
Reginald Coley said Rams.
Yeah.
We got it. They deserved
Yeah.
it. Rams.
Hey, I got a question to ask you guys, man. You know how like you always see with a Super Bowl runner-up, they go through changes and it's so hard to get back to the bowl. Do you think that the Bengals are on the brink of doing something if they just tweak it a little bit, or do you think this is a one and done?
One and done. I got to get that to you. There's several reasons, and Tate, I'll give you the floor after that. I'm sorry, B Dirt. This is your one and done. Kansas City's gonna get better. That's one of the things. Juju, y'all's guy, is leaving, and one of the two spots that he'll end up is either in Kansas City or Dallas. That helps Kansas City. Kansas City's gonna get better in the draft and free agency. You know that. Then you have the return of Lamar Jackson. And if Baltimore can get a little better, they're in trouble. Then Tennessee is steadily improving. The people that you had to beat to get out of the AFC this year was ridiculous, and they're only going to be more ridiculous next year. And don't let Pittsburgh get a quarterback. You're in trouble. So I think you're building something over there, and you're going to be good for the next 4 or 5 years. You're going to be really good. But making it back here, everything got to line up in order for that to happen, and I just don't think it will.
What you think, Tate?
No, I'd agree with him. I mean, I think it's hard to get to a Super Bowl, man. I mean, Dan Marino made it to a Super Bowl his second year and never made it back again. So you can't just take for granted that you're going to get back there. But I will say the Bengals are, a couple offensive line pieces away, maybe another piece on defense. But they going to compete, but it's just hard to say, oh, yeah, they're going to get back next year. But I do think we're gonna see some slippage from Kansas City. I think all Patrick Mahomes' big money go into effect next year. They're gonna lose some people. Honey Badger's not coming back already, and they're gonna lose some people. And Cincinnati still got Burrow on a rookie contract, so I think they're in a good position to compete. But again, it's hard to get back to the Super Bowl. Josh Allen making all that money up there. They're gonna anytime your quarterback making $45-50 million, you're gonna lose some pieces that you had when they were on a rookie contract.
But Buffalo, shout out to D Blue, my roommate. Shout out. Hey man, listen, I'm gonna tell you something, roommate from college. He's a big Buffalo Bill fan. I'm gonna tell you something, man. The Bills are still there. And then your boy Sean's favorite quarterback, Herbert, they're still there. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I'd argue Buffalo has the easiest route just because I feel like they're in the easiest division.
Correct.
You know what I mean? They still playing Miami with a new coach. I don't know if Mac Jones proved he can throw. I mean, Belichick will always scheme something up to have him in the games, but and then the Jets is the Jets. But then you go to the AFC West, you got Kansas City, you got the Chargers, you got the Raiders getting McDaniel coming there. Yeah. And the other team is Denver. Denver looking for a new quarterback with a new coach. They got players. Right. And the AFC North is tough. If Baker mounts back and Pittsburgh find a quarterback, they right up there competing with the Ravens and the Bengals again. You know what I mean?
Right. That's going to be the question moving forward, Tate, for sure. Is that can you make it back through the gauntlet? You can't take it for advantage.
No, you can't.
About making it. Yeah, you can't take it for advantage.
It's always going to be a gauntlet when you got these young quarterbacks: Mahomes, Herbert, Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. That gauntlet ain't going to go nowhere. That's why I said you can't just say, "Oh yeah, you can't say no team favorite to make it to the Super Bowl next year."
Yeah, I wouldn't even give the Rams a chance like that.
I disagree, Ma, with your Tennessee take. As long as Tannehill there, ain't nothing happen.
Trash at QB. They got to get a better guy. Hey, I got a question. Did y'all see Russell Wilson up there bargaining with the commissioner with Godell, talking about, hey man, whatever you got to do, you got to get me out of Seattle, man. I can't play in Seattle no more. Me and Pete
I
Carroll, we got to separate, bro. We got to separate, bro.
I seen him up there talking to him. I don't know what he was talking about, though.
Me neither.
He trying to get up out of there, bro.
But speaking of somebody trying to get up out of there, what's going on with Kyler Murray? I mean, why would you unfollow all of the? I mean, it's just hinky. You unfollowed all of the team social media and took all of your paraphernalia down.
I'm not putting it on everybody, man, but a lot of times in today's generation, man, a lot of these young cats, man, that's how they communicate, man. There's passive aggressive social media removal and stuff like that. I mean, you know, but he in his feeling because he feel like Cardinal fans feel like his fault that they didn't perform better. But he played like dirt. He didn't play good against the Rams.
Correct. Kyler Murray, I don't know if Kyler Murray, unless you put an extreme amount of talent around him, I don't know if Kyler Murray could ever get you to the mountaintop. He did well in high school. He did well in college. But I don't know in the NFL, unless you put, like I said, an extreme amount of talent around him. Because he's got talent down there in Arizona, but you got to add 2-3 more pieces to get him over the top.
I feel like they had talent. I feel like it might just need to be more done with the scheming and the coaching and the coordinating aspect of it. I mean, I think you know he's a player. You know what I mean? He's a problem. You know what I mean? You might even though he's small, you might need more quarterback runs. He just got to get down. You know what I mean? You got to kind of just take advantage of all his attributes.
I think Tate's right, and I think the other thing is that, you know, all of his receivers have to stay healthy. His targets have to be healthy, and you got to keep an offensive line in front of him, and a running game. If you can do that, Kyler Murray becomes a very valuable tool. Just as I would argue, and say that he would be a more effective Lamar Jackson. You know, because he can actually throw a little bit.
I think he can throw better than Lamar Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, when it comes down to it, I mean, I don't know what Kyler's doing. I don't know what's going on, but we will have shuffling. And that's another thing about the AFC. The AFC can get better because if you let Aaron Rodgers make it to the AFC,
there's no way he's going to AFC. I've heard all that and all whatever else. I also heard today on NFL Live that the Packers now have changed full throttle to do whatever they got to do to get him back. And they saying that if you want offensive weapons, if you want us to go sign Adams, whatever we got to do to keep you in Green Bay to finish the thing off, we got to do it. So for the first time ever, Green Bay done turned ship and talking about that they're going to do whatever they got to do to keep him. So I don't see it. And Aaron Rodgers is not going to Denver. You can forget it. It won't happen. He'll quit before he play for Denver. If Aaron Rodgers goes anywhere, he's gonna go somewhere where it's warm. If he's got any control over it. So, but Green Bay is gonna go all in next year. I think they're gonna do whatever they got to do to win. And you know, and they might, because traditionally the Packers have not been a team that mortgages their future. The Packers are like the Steelers. The Steelers don't normally mortgage their future like way out to get picks and get free agents and all. They just don't traditionally do it. But I think for the first time, you're going to see the Packers this next year. They're going to put pieces up around Rodgers. They're going for it. So, you know, and it might be his last year and all whatever else, but they won a championship in Green Bay. They won a title. You know, so that's just me.
I mean, definitely we can check it out, man. We can totally see it. We got the Lovie Smith hire. That was another thing that we didn't talk about, that we haven't had a chance to really rap about. Lovie Smith got hired at the Texans after not being a part of their list for candidates. Good hire, bad hire. What do you think, you guys?
I think Lovie Smith's a competent coach. He got the team to the Super Bowl before. I mean, his last few years, especially in the Big Ten, but you started with a deficient challenge roster when you in the Big Ten with Illinois playing Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, and all them other teams. But he's a good coach. He knows his football. I mean, he went to arguably the worst job that was available.
Definitely went to the worst job.
And they were competitive. They were competitive, but
that speaks to David Culley, who was there, who they fired.
Yeah. I mean, really, to be honest, Tate, really, to tell you the truth, Lovie Smith probably did the best job in Illinois since they had Juice Williams and Rashard Mendenhall. That might have been the best job that's been done in Illinois in a minute. Illinois has not been competitive forever, But I think the Lovie Smith hire was knee-jerk, and it had a lot to do with Brian Flores and the NFL trying to CYA. That's just my opinion, because he wasn't even on the radar from what it was known as far as the press. I mean, we're fans, so we don't really know what was going on in the inside. But, we had never heard. Matter of fact, we didn't have Lovie Smith tied to any NFL job. And all of a sudden, he pops up in Houston. I mean, come on, man. But maybe
he was
it's alleged. It's alleged. We can't make that statement. But go ahead, Tate.
No, I was saying he was already there as a defensive coordinator and an associate head coach. I mean, he was there in that capacity. I think if it was CYA, they would have been better off from a CYA perspective. I'm not saying that it wasn't that didn't play no part in it. They'd have been better off hiring Brian Flores, though. The better coach. That's appears to have been who Deshaun Jackson wants to play for. Maybe you hire Brian Flores. You get a better coach. 2, now maybe you got a chance to bring Deshaun Jackson back to the table and say, hey, man, this past year and a half been hectic. We've been wrong. There's a lot of stuff going on. Let's see if we can mend this relationship. You know what I mean? And that's the way I would have went with it.
Yeah, I think that would have been smart, Tate. That would have been really, really smart. But, man, we that concludes NFL, man. That's it. That's all we got, for the NFL part of the show.
Before you leave that, man, let's everybody real quick. Way too early Super Bowl matchup prediction next year. Way too early.
Way too early Super Bowl. Yeah, it's definitely way too early. Man, man, I don't know. The reason why I said I don't know is because I got to see where these quarterbacks end up. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like there's a couple of trades that's going to shake up what we see right now and make the landscape look really, I mean, for real.
If you call it right now as is, we're not expecting you to predict the future as far as who going to be where.
I got mine. I can tell you. Green Bay Packers versus Los Angeles Chargers for the Super Bowl next year. Los Angeles Chargers versus the Green Bay Packers. I think the Chargers need 1 or 2 pieces on defense and maybe 1 more piece on offense. I think Green Bay just needs a receiver opposite Devontae Adams and to stay healthy with Robert Tonyan because they got the defensive pieces and the coach don't get in the way. So if I had to put my money on the bowl, it's the Green Bay Packers versus the Los Angeles Chargers next year.
Well, so
today.
If I had to go as is, I couldn't say my beloved because of the simple fact that ain't nothing changed. If Sean Payton is, somehow worked into the mix here, I would give us a better shot. But if I'm going NFC, man, sheesh. I would have to go back with the Rams. If they keep everything in pocket, because they get Robert Woods back, they get Tyler Higbee back. Stafford's second year in the offense, he'll be a little better. And Aaron Donald comes back. That's and then the draft they'll be helped a little bit. So yeah, I mean I would see them there, and then I would go. I'm sorry, Tate. I have to say it. I think he's got enough to get him there. He just don't got enough to win it. Tannehill. I'd say I would go with the Titans. I go with the Titans. I think the Titans defensively have showed us that there's something to be reckoned with, and offensively, man, they can actually put up some points. They can put up some points, and they can do it with or without they running game. So, I would just you're way too early. WTE. That's what it would be.
I'm gonna jump out there and say, out the ASC, I think I'm between Baltimore and Buffalo, but I'm gonna go with Buffalo.
Mm,
I'm gonna go with Buffalo.
mm.
And then in the NFC, my dark horse is going because they're going to have a first year quarterback next year, but he's gonna be the difference. I'm gonna go with San Francisco and Trey Lance.
I almost took him, Tate. I swear that's who I was thinking about. But I said, nah, I can't bet
They
against
just-
Rodgers, man.
I think we were all thinking about that, man. I think we were all thinking about Trey Lance in San Francisco, but I just couldn't. I can't see him. I can't see him coming in doing enough or being smart enough to take that team. I think he's going to be good in the years to come, but I don't know if he's ready to take the team to the upper echelon because the game ramps up in the playoffs. It ramp up in the playoffs.
It does. I mean, Patrick Mahomes did it in his first year, starting after sitting his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think Trey Lance is just going to be that chess piece that's just a difference maker. With Debo Samuels and whatever they do, with you getting your boy Mostert back, you know they got plus they like Elijah Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know you got Kittle coming back fully healthy. That defense is really nice. Really I mean, nice. So that's just my way too early pick though.
Yeah, it's way too early. Way too early. Now let's get on this NBA, man. God, everybody and their mama is trading pieces. Except the LA Lakers. What is up with that? Why is the Lakers not doing any moves? Are they just that tired? Or are they just gonna die on that hill? Which one is it, man? Are they that tired financially and structured, or are they just gonna die on the hill and with the decisions they made?
They're gonna die on the hill because they that tired financially. The fact is, don't nobody want Russ. Russ is the only piece they want to trade that they can make a big trade, a meaningful trade for. He making $47 million, man, this year. Well, 44 this year, 47 next year. Somebody want that contract next year, man. Russ don't impact winning. So, you know, the Lakers couldn't get off of him. If they really wanted to do something, they would have went ahead and got off AD. That's what they should. Right. That's who they should consider getting off of. They get the most back for their return with him, and then you know he plays so sometime, man. At least Russ always give you 100% effort. Now, granted, he turning the ball over and bricking jumpers and everything else, but he give you 100% of his heart and soul every time you're on that court. I can't say the same thing for AD.
Right.
He say his own name when he shoot the ball. Russie instead of Kobe or Jordan. He say his own name. Russie. So what you say, G? What are they tired financially, or are they just dying on this hill?
It's both, like Tate said. But the issue is, you know, the John Wall deal was done. You know, the issue was LA wasn't getting up off of that first round draft pick because that first round draft pick could have been tied to Bronny. So that's why they didn't want to take the chance of getting up off of that pick because
that pick is 2027. I think Bronny be out before then.
Bronny comes out in 2025, but what they're saying is that pick could put them in a position where, because they might suck, right? They might have a real bad record. Now it's not a lottery protected, and 2025 is a lot further out than and for them to trade up and say, okay, 2025, I'll give you my pick in 2027 if you let me move to get Bronny. So the whole thing about that was
Bronny ain't gonna get picked that high, man.
Bronny going top 5. When Bronny comes out, Bronny going top 5. Bronny will be a top 5 NBA pick.
I'm gonna tell you something about Bronny. I've been watching Bronny here lately. I've been watching Bronny here lately, and Bronny's starting to get a strap, and then that can be real scary. You know, the son of LeBron James with a strap.
They tore the frame out of Oak Hill Academy last week, and Bronny was out there killing them boys.
Bronny hit 6 threes, I think it was.
Bronny, yes, he did. He had 6 threes with 27 points. He had a triple-double, 27, 10, and 11, and hit 6 threes. So Bronny nice, man. Bronny is developing. The issue with Bronny is, too, and what a lot of folks don't realize, Bronny went through an astronomical growth spurt. Bronny's almost 6'4", right? And so, like, he was short. He had little hops and all whatever else. And all of a sudden, Bronny then jumped in that 6'3", 6'4" range. So his body's he's got to catch up as far as his body. But we got to remember, Bronny's only a junior. So this kid is going to, we're talking 3 years from now. Oh, Bronny a top 5 pick. So the LA, I mean, no matter what, they don't want to give it up to be able to get a shot to get Bronny. Because that's what LeBron wants. LeBron wants to play with his son. We all know that.
Well, LeBron has said he'd go anywhere to play with his son. So wherever he gets drafted, LeBron gonna try and make it his way to wherever that is.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
yeah.
let me ask y'all this. Who got the better of the Philly trade, the Philly Brooklyn Nets trade? Who do you feel like got the better of that trade, Tate?
Ooh, that's close, man. I think they both came up, man. I mean, Brooklyn got a true playmaker who don't want to shoot. I mean, Harden played the role well, but now Kyrie and KD just get to be the offense, and Ben Simmons is just another piece that's out there to rebound, to slash, to be a top 3 defensive player of the year candidate every year, to lock up the best player. I mean, then Philly gets where you think about it, they was getting nothing from Simmons. Nobody was there. So they got Harden, and Harden wanted to be there. Now we've seen when Harden wants to be somewhere, Harden plays well. Mm-hmm. So if he can come back, I mean, and I already read today that Daryl Morey, the GM, thinking about after this year firing Doc Rivers for no reason. Doc has got them to hire Mike D'Antoni. Mm-hmm. He want to get that offense flowing. But I say Brooklyn won the trade just because they had to include 2 first-round picks, Andre Drummond and Steph Curry.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that the extra pieces that they had to throw in to get Harden was a lot for Philly to give up. Andre Drummond is a big piece to give up behind Embiid because Embiid is injury prone, and Andre Drummond could spell minutes legitimately at that center. And Seth is sort of like almost a baby walking bucket. So now in that offense with Brooklyn, you're going to have Ben Simmons with the ball in his hand, and he's going to create. And Kyrie and KD is going to be standing basically, off a pick and roll or high pick and pop, killing with Curry standing over in the corner. So that's a rough ride. That's a rough ride in Brooklyn. Yeah,
Big G. When Brooklyn decided to go small, put Ben Simmons at the 5, KD at the 4, with Seth Curry, Kyrie, and Patty Mills, they're gonna light people up, man.
Yeah, the only team that can small ball them realistically is the Bulls. If the Bulls are 100% healthy, the Bulls can hang small ball. But going small is dangerous for Brooklyn. And you talking about running and pushing the rock. They are going to run and push the rock like there ain't no tomorrow, man. When I'm saying they're going to push that pill, they're going to push it, man. But like I said, I like those secondary pieces. But the thing is, I think Philly, and this is just my own opinion about Philly too, does Harden give them enough to win the chip? That's the question.
I think right now this year, Philly would be more favored than Brooklyn to make it right now.
I think so too.
I still think Milwaukee the favorite, but now I think if they start to gel this last 25, 27 games, they get it together. I think Philly can be a problem. I watched them last night with no Harden, and Embiid just beasted my Cavs last night, man. He had a 40-point triple-double. He made a poster, Jared Allen. Oh my God, did he kill him?
So let me ask y'all this. The other trade that I was very interested in, and then definitely we'll wrap it up with our takes, any last minute takes. Spencer Dinwiddie to Dallas for what's my guy?
Porzingis, Unicorn.
Zingas, yeah. Good trade or no?
I don't think. I mean, it's a good trade in the sense that Dallas got off a big contract, and Luka had his 2 best games of the year since Porzingis been gone, 51 and 45 last night. I think they did that deal because Porzingis had a big contract, man. So they traded for Dinwiddie, and who else they get? They got somebody else.
I couldn't tell you, but I know they got Dinwiddie
in the same deal. But they broke it down to have 2 smaller contracts that going into the offseason can be more tradable assets than Porzingis' $33 million. You know what I mean? Then you got Dinwiddie making like 16, 17, and the other person they got might be making about the same. So they broke up the contracts. They got 2 tradable assets as opposed to sitting on Porzingis' big contract. And they didn't like playing together, him and Luka. So it was a good trade in that sense.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the trade was decent, but the 2 undermined, the small trades that didn't get a lot of pub that was really balls was Montrezl Harrell going to Charlotte because they finally got a big man that can help protect the rim because they got plenty of perimeter and guard play. And I also like that Torrey James trade that went down where he went to Phoenix, right? Along with the Milwaukee Bucks getting
Torrey Craig
going back to Phoenix with that secondary piece and Serge Ibaka going to Milwaukee. I like those trades. Milwaukee needed something because they didn't know what position Lopez was going to be in, and I like Torrey Craig's ability to be that swing that they need to push the rock if Cameron Payne's not having a good game and they spell minutes for Chris Paul. That's just me. Those are the 2 little slow, undermined trades that didn't get a whole lot of pub, but actually made Milwaukee and Phoenix better teams. Phoenix, to me, also has the best roster in the NBA. Bottom, the Phoenix Suns have the best roster, to me. 1 through 15. There's no ifs, ands, buts.
I agree. I agree with you with both of them. I mean, I don't know that Torrey Craig is backing up Chris Paul and another little guy. He more of a 2, probably back up Devin Booker and the other wing. He's a 3-and-D guy. But I definitely agree with the Ibaka going to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And I think Montrezl Harrell's a good piece, but Montrezl Harrell's 6'7". He ain't protecting the rim, but he is gonna bring some energy and some beats down low. So I mean I like the trade.
You like Serge in Milwaukee?
Yeah, I do like that. I just said that. Yeah.
I like Serge in Milwaukee. I think that's a good thing too. I think that's really nice. So you guys, final comments. You got something you want to leave the know-it-all people with this weekend?
Yeah, go ahead, Tate. I got one, but go ahead.
Well, no, I just want to share with who our guest is going to be next week on the show. It's going to be we got a PA sports PhD coming in, Dr. Daniel Kelly the second. He's the academic director of graduate programs at NYU School of Professional Studies. He does a lot of he writes a lot of stuff about sports and sports. What's the word I'm looking for? Sports and culture and sports and psychology and all those kind of things. He has some interesting articles I'm going to post on the Facebook page this week. But he'll be our guest next week. I don't know what we'll talk about. Yeah, I don't know nothing about psychology or any of that stuff like that. So I gotta brush up on some of my information.
There's something you don't know it all about.
Hey,
what is this?
You know what you know and you admit what you don't know. I'm leaning on Big G for this one. That's his avenue.
Well,
sure. Sure.
G's avenue is fake it till you make it in that area.
Nah, bro, I got that licensed counseling thing.
He got the license, you guys. Yeah. Let me defend him. He has the license, you guys. I just like going and rallying my brother up. But so definitely that's something that's coming up on next week's show. Make sure you look out for that. Big G, final shot. What you got?
I got a Big G burner for the NFL, man. For the NFL. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going all in on Malik Willis. Even if they got to trade up to get him, they're getting him. Mike Tomlin wants Malik Willis. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. So I think when the combine and everything's done, the Steelers are going to do what they got to do to get Malik Willis. That's my Big G burner.
That's definitely a burner.
I mean, because we Steeler fans, so we follow it. So I do know Tomlin loves him. They want him. But Malik Willis might test his way up out of Pittsburgh's range, though. I mean, we might be talking about it might take a top 5 pick to get Malik Willis after the combine and everything else.
Yeah. I think Pittsburgh would I think when they would mortgage the farm. I think they would give up this year's, next year's, and possibly a number 2 to get him. They'll mortgage the farm.
If you doing that, can't you get Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, but I think Tomlin
but
wants
you know what,
Malik
Big
Willis
G?
with no baggage.
You get no baggage and not the contract. So okay.
Yeah. I see it happening in my crystal ball. Malik Willis will be a Steeler.
Okay, Big G Burner, you heard it here first on the KnoItAllz, and I'm going to tell you, you're also going to hear my what if. I got a what if show coming. I've already recorded it. I'm putting it together right now, and definitely,
day, man.
Definitely.
What if Ma wasn't a hater?
what if Mon actually liked LeBron James? Is what it should be called.
First of all, I seen LeBron James dancing after Odell scored tonight. It was crazy. Bron getting it in like his Soul Train. But anyway, my what if, you guys, you'll see it in the next couple of days coming, is in the 2003 draft in NBA basketball, LeBron James went first. The second pick of that draft was Darko Milicic, and he went to the Detroit Pistons, who were the NBA champions that year. Now, the third pick of that draft was none other than Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo went on to average 21 points that year. So my what if, and I'm going to explore it for you guys, is what if instead of at number 3, he goes number 2 to Detroit Pistons? We're going to explore that, and I'm looking forward to talking to my KnoItAllz listeners about this. Definitely.
Let me ask you this: in that draft, after Carmelo went 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
At 4, who went 4?
We're not talking about that. I'm talking about
no, because I argue they're better players than Carmelo that would have went there. What if Dwayne Wade went there at 3 instead of going to Miami at 5?
What if Dwayne went there? I'm talking about Carmelo. Talking about Carmelo, got somebody who is.
And by the way, D Wade would have been a better fit with that team than Carmelo. D Wade actually would have fit perfect with that team.
I mean,
he would have had to play. He didn't had to take Rip spot, and it wasn't taking Rip spot then.
Rip could have played small. Rip could have easily played small.
Then you put Tayshaun Prince out.
No.
Well, that's what you was talking about, putting Carmelo in for Tayshaun Prince.
Right, they were already. Right. If you know what Carmelo himself said about this, they had told Carmelo that he was going to split time with Tayshaun Prince already. So Carmelo would have fit in that system. Carmelo said, I got all of the footage. Y'all are going to see it in my what if. Just watch the what if, because I think you guys are really going to like it. You know what I'm saying?
Player between Carmelo and Dwayne Wade.
So actually, Chris Bosh went after Carmelo.
Right.
Correct.
And then Dwayne went after 5. That.
Correct.
Yep. And then TJ Ford was 8.
You had to say TJ Ford. You said that because he was a Longhorn, man.
He was a
TJ Ford in his first couple of years after he got hurt was really good. He was really good. Josh Howard was in that draft. But
the
still, in
top
all,
5 of that draft was probably in NBA history the best top. Maybe the only top 5 better: Akeem Olajuwon, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley. That top 5 draft, maybe the only draft better top 5 than that 2003 draft. And that's what sucked Darko Milicic at 2.
That's what sucked. Darko Milicic sucked. He was gone.
No, that's your question. I said, who's better between Carmelo and D Wade?
It's not even in question, Tate. It's not even in question. It's D Wade, man. It's Dwayne Wade, man.
Let's put it like this: the Flash meant more to his team than Carmelo Anthony.
No, bro. It's called Wade County in rings. They don't call it Miami-Dade County. They call it Miami-Wade County, and he got these right here, bro. Rings. That's what it's about.
I'd argue Carmelo is his generation's Russ.
Yes.
Put up all kind of numbers. Ain't never done nothing far as with your team. Never.
Yeah. Yeah. Wade got 3 rings. How many finals MVPs? How many? D Wade is a animal, man. First ballot Hall of Fame. I mean, come on, man.
Carmelo be first ballot Hall of Fame.
Carmelo first ballot Hall of Fame. So
Carmelo be first ballot.
So was Russ, but they just didn't impact winning with their teams. That's all I'm saying. Because he wanted to go to New York so bad. New York was trash all the time we was there.
I know I suffered hard. That's my second set of suffering. I already suffered with Jay Starks, and then I suffered even harder with Carmelo Anthony, man. So you don't have to remind me about my beloved Knicks. They keep on. And listen, I got to say this too. Why in the world did the Knicks make a move, man? Come on, man. I mean, man, don't even get me started. You know, and they made a move for Cam Reddish, and they got him sitting on the bench because the coach don't want to play him. Get out of here, man.
People don't want to play him, but you see, Big G is chess, not checkers. That move was set up. Who you got there? You got Cam Reddish now.
Zion.
You got Cam Reddish now. You got RJ Barrett still there.
Yeah, it's set up for
who
Zion.
Who the boys played with in college? Who the boys played with in college?
Zion.
Okay.
It's set up for Zion to get to New York. I know it is. But you got to play him, man, and you got to make another deal. You got to make a deal, man.
Listen, you guys. If you like the content that you're hearing, make sure that you like and subscribe. Like us here on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. You can catch us there. So every time we go live, you will be there to get the information.
Who's your dunk contest winner?
I don't even know who's in it. To be honest,
I don't even know who's in it.
You got Obi Toppin from your Knicks, Big G.
Dayton. That's the winner.
Yeah,
that's the winner. He gonna win it. You ain't gotta tell me. As long as you say no, Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, he gonna win it. But go ahead. Go ahead.
It's Cole Anthony.
No.
No Cole Anthony.
No.
What about I know Cole Anthony. Okay, it's Obi Toppin. The dude for the Golden State. Toscano Anderson.
No.
And Jalen Green from Houston Rockets.
Maybe. Jalen Green got hops.
He got hops. Last thing, and we gotta go. That may have been the most awkward, funny exchange picking of an all-star team that we ever seen in life. Watching LeBron and KD pick, and the person that got picked, the last person was James Harden, and James not being picked by KD and LeBron putting up his iPad, hiding his face while he's laughing. That was the funniest thing ever. But I think the most funniest thing was Charles Barkley being super petty. Charles Barkley is super petty. He's definitely petty.
What Barkley do is petty?
Barkley's the one who made light of that. He was like, shoot, since he done got out of Brooklyn, he might mess around and rub some. I think he said, rub some icy hot on himself and get out there and play now. He healthy now. I said, wow.
Yeah,
He's talking about his hamstring.
I don't know if that's petty. I think that's Barkley and his personality, and that's for TV.
It's petty.
You know what I mean? It's for TV.
It's definitely for TV, and it's petty. But you guys, man, we're out of here. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same channel. We out.